Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Upset Special. This is week 10, right?
Yes, it is.
Oh,
It is
boy.
week 10. We're in double digits.
I don't like that. All right, so this week we got Leica back, we got Jake back. To recap the picks, I went 0-2 again, obviously. I'm in a real slump. I'm kind of bad at this. And Brewster hit another one with Notre Dame over Syracuse, still batting 500.
Still batting 500. That was the easiest thing ever.
Hillen got North Texas over Western Kentucky. He's batting 500. And Liam also went 0-2, but he should have had Idaho over Sac State. Leica and Jake are back. I believe, Jake, you're at 500? Or are you a little bit under?
I think I'm slightly under it. I haven't done the show in a few weeks, but I'm going to get myself back over 500 or to 500 this week, if not over.
Ooh. And I think you're not very close. I think you got like 3 or 4 wins though.
Yeah, but I am the first person that did have a 2-0 week. I was going to bring it up at least 38 times on this episode. Did I mention I went to? No, I'm just kidding.
You did not.
Yeah, two weeks ago I did go 2-0.
You did. You're the first one.
But my record still stinks. We're gonna try and improve on that for sure.
Look, all that matters is that you're better than me because I am in last place.
By a long shot.
Yeah, it's not great. I really I have Iowa State over Iowa, which Liam doesn't count, but it counts because they were a dog.
How does he not count it? But he had a 4-point favorite.
Yeah, I don't know. He doesn't like to count that one, even though they were an underdog. Or 3-point underdog. And then I had Iowa State losing to Kansas, and I had ECU over UCF. So I had one 2 weeks ago. Last week was not great. Penn State kind of blew up in typical James Franklin fashion. But so we randomized the order. It's going to go me and Drewster, Jake, Leica. So I will start it off. I don't like this board. I know there's a couple around. There's a couple sitting around 3 points, 3.5 points. This one is gross. This is just because of just the atmosphere. I'm taking Notre Dame over Clemson. Notre Dame's a 3.5 point dog at home. Yeah, it's disgusting. I know. I hate Notre Dame. I hate this spot.
I
like
had
the spot
that
for
pick.
Clemson though.
I had that pick. Yep, that's why.
Yeah, this is just a game that Notre Dame is not good. All right, so I know they just beat Syracuse. They've won a couple games. No, they beat Syracuse. Clemson is also coming off a win to Syracuse after their bye. Notre Dame crushed UNLV. Congrats. They lost to Stanford in a really, really bad game. Notre Dame's not a good football team. It's just a spot where Clemson thinks they're going to come in and destroy them. DJ's starting, right? Not Klubnik. DJ's the quarterback in this game. So that's kind of why I'm taking Notre Dame, because I don't think DJ's very good. He had a great game against Wake Forest. That was his only good game of the year. The Notre Dame defense needs to step up in order for them to keep this game close. They put up 41 against Syracuse, who has a good defense. Clemson's defense is fine. All right, a little shaky, but I don't know. Drew Pine just needs to not turn the ball over, and Notre Dame could pull this off.
Yeah, Notre Dame's going to need to get a run game going, because if they don't, then it's going to be a long, long day for the Irish fans. It's not going to be pretty. But obviously, they got a run game going against Syracuse. They can probably do it to an extent against Clemson. I'm actually going to stay in the ACC. Clemson's ACC, Notre Dame's like half ACC. They play half an ACC schedule.
Yeah.
This game is probably going to be seen as a little bit disgusting, but who here watched NC State, Virginia Tech last week? It was not pretty. It was not pretty, Leica. It was not. 22-21, NC State pulls it out. They stay ranked. Actually, I want to say they're like 22 or 21 in the – yeah.
They're 21.
They're 21?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so they're 21 in the latest college football or first college football playoff ranking of the year. And they're 5.5 point dogs at home against a Wake Forest team coming off an embarrassing loss against Louisville. I mean, that was disgusting what they let Louisville just do to them. It's I'm pretty sure it was illegal in 13 states. Unfortunately, Wake Forest and Louisville, not illegal there. and I don't think it's going to be illegal in North Carolina. NC State 5.5-point dogs. MJ Morris is a name no one talked about last week, but when he came in and just took that starting quarterback job, true freshman, first time a true freshman has started at NC State in forever. It seems like he's going to go in there. He's going to make that Wake Forest defense, which is awful. He's going to make it atrocious, get the ball to Thayer Thomas. NC State's defense is going to be enough to stop Wake Forest's offense. I like NC State to win this game by at least a touchdown.
I like that pick. I honestly think Wake Forest is reeling after that loss to Louisville. Louisville just made them look horrible. Speaking of really ugly games in a different way, that was just an awful performance from Wake Forest, and it was really uncharacteristic of them. They usually don't turn the ball over. They gave Louisville so many extra possessions, and NC State's defense is still really good, despite what they lost offensively with Leary going out and having quarterback issues there. I think NC State should win this at home. I honestly think I like your prediction of at least a touchdown or more.
Yeah, and by the time this video comes out, we may or may not have a video with QB guru Quincy Avery, who talked him up. So obviously that's a great sign for me because he's a very well-respected quarterback guru in just the likes of football entirety. So obviously great sign for NC State.
Yeah, for my first pick, I am picking against the team that I have picked to get upset. I think I've only picked against them once this year, and I'm going back to it because I just don't think that they're very good. I'm going with Liberty over Arkansas. Arkansas is favored in this game. After seeing what Liberty did to BYU, just some nasty stuff went down there. And I think it all depends on if Liberty can get Day Hunter going and really gash through that Arkansas defense, which once you get past Drew Sanders, that Arkansas defense is just really not good. I know Bumper Pool is a tackling machine, but especially if they can get the passing game going, Arkansas's secondary is absolutely atrocious. So any team that's able to exploit that, I mean, we've seen several teams beat Arkansas with the run this year, like against Alabama. They were really able to take it to them like that. And I'm going with Liberty in Fayetteville beating the Hogs.
Liberty is 13.5-point underdogs last I checked, and I don't understand that number at all. Liberty's looked like the better team all year. Arkansas has been very disappointing. I was actually going to take that with my second pick if it was still available, so obviously I like it.
Yeah, I mean, I think this one's feels like too much of a slam dunk, though, is the problem.
I was going to say it's kind of there's always one double-digit underdog that makes a noise, and I actually like that one too. That was also on my list. So I'm taking Memphis to defeat UCF this week. I believe in Hennigan, Martin, and Prieskorn. I really think that they could make some noise at home. They're a very tough team to beat at home, Memphis, and UCF turned the ball over way too many times in that game against Cincinnati. They honestly shouldn't even won, if you ask me. UCF stole that game, and I don't think that they can make the same magic 2 weeks in a row. And it's kind of a bounce back chat game type of deal against Memphis. So I like the Tigers in this game.
Yeah, I like that.
The AAC just has cannibalized itself, kind of.
That's also why I picked that too, because I honestly think the second spot in the AAC title game could go. There's like 5 teams vying for that spot, and I need chaos. So I really need Memphis to win.
This has looked all right. They should have beaten Houston, but they fell apart, and that would have been a nice win for them. But yeah, I mean, UCF was coming off that high of that win against Cincy, where everyone knew Cincy was a little bit overrated. UCF kind of needed that spot for them after losing to ECU the week before. But yeah, I mean, I could see it for sure. The AAC, like we said, they eat each other alive, and the come down from the emotional high of that UCF win, they might not be taking Memphis as seriously as they should.
Yeah, so I like the pick.
Should I go to mine?
Might as well.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if anyone wanted to add, but so I don't know if this counts. Correct me if it doesn't. but they're an underdog. Unranked teams, both of them. But Coastal Carolina against App State.
Coastal is indeed a dog.
So this counts, even though they have a better record.
It does count. They're 3-point dogs at home against App State, which I'm kind of upset you took that because I was considering it, but
I thought if Liam were on the show, he would definitely veto that pick.
Why would Coastal's a dog at home?
I know. I don't know why Coastal is a dog.
App State's not that good.
Yeah, I know. This is why I like Coastal. I love Coastal in the spot. So am I good to go? Is this?
Yeah, take it. Liam's not here. We're not gonna.
I need one. Come on, guys. I need one here.
They are underdogs.
I need
Liam's
one.
not on the show, man. It's the four of us. We the group.
We're more chill. He's more uptight.
Yeah. Well, I'll go in.
I'm sorry, Liam.
I love Grayson McCall. They're coming off a good win against Marshall last week. I was kind of out of the loop I was in State College tailgating all day. I was at the game, so I was kind of out of the loop. I missed most of the games, but I like that they beat Marshall pretty soundly on the road, which will give them momentum coming back into home. They came off. They lost to Old Dominion. That was a bad loss, but it's the Sun Belt. It's bound to happen. I just think Coastal's a better team than App State. App State looked to be the darling of college football after beating Texas A&M. Sorry to bring that up again, Jake, but they fall off. They lost to Texas State. They're not as good as the team as they were 5 weeks ago. Coastal's just a much better team. I really like Chase Bryce, but Grayson McCall is a better quarterback, and I think he outduels him, and Coastal wins this game by a touchdown at least.
I will say App State at Coastal Carolina has given us some amazing games over the years. Just the matchup in general, but the fact that we get to see it on the teal field at night, Thursday night, just pure Fun Belt greatness.
Teal turf, good vibes. Conway, South Carolina, always, and like Andrew said, this is one of the best games of the year, I would think, in the G5 because of how dramatic finishes, all this stuff between these two programs, and they've really held it down for the Carolinas last several years. So it's actually one of the matchups I'm really looking forward to this week.
Yeah,
I like the pick. Grayson McCall versus Chase Bryce should be good. I mean, I don't think that Chase Bryce is all that. He wasn't really the factor that beat us. It was more their running game that beat A&M. But Grayson McCall, obviously, we're all big fans of him here at the transfer portal. So obviously, we're gonna ride with the Chanticleers this week.
Yep. Always a big Grace McCall fan. He was an amazing interview. I'm going to stay in the general area of the continental United States, but I'm going to go to the Power Conference. I'm going to go to the SEC. I'm going to take the pick. I'm going to take it because I think this is the better team. I'm taking Tennessee. I'm taking Tennessee over Georgia. I'm taking Hendon Hooker. I'm taking Jalen Hyatt. I'm taking Alex Golesh. I'm taking Josh Heupel. And I'm taking that Tennessee Volunteers offense to beat Georgia in Athens, setting up a Tennessee undefeated Cinderella run into the SEC title game where they will most likely rematch with Alabama. Look, Georgia's defense is very good. They've got NFL talent at most positions. My problem is with their offense. Their offense has been inconsistent this year. They've struggled to get off the ground against Missouri. They struggled to blow out Kent State. And as we are watching Kent State right now, not great. And I just think this Tennessee team is elite. I think this Tennessee team has the best offense we've seen since 2019. This team is special. This offensive scheme is special. Jalen Hyatt, no matter how you try and stop him, he's going to get 200 yards and 3 touchdowns on you. As good as Georgia's defense is, this is more about Tennessee's defense and respecting them. They've got a great run defense. And that's not even just like saying, oh, it's pretty good. No, it's a great run defense. It ranks near the top. It's not at the top, but it's near the top in the country. So they're going to make Stetson Bennett throw. And this is a Stetson Bennett prove it to me that you're not overrated game. And I frankly don't think it's going to happen. Mm-hmm. If you can neutralize Brock Bowers, you can win the football game. Just make sure he doesn't get the football because he's a dynamic talent. I will take Tennessee. Not only do I think that they will win this game outright, I think there's a genuine chance they could win this game by 2 scores.
Yeah, I mean, and
Ooh.
one thing that I don't know if you mentioned it or not. Nolan Smith, losing him for the season, that sucks.
It's really tough.
Massive,
spe-
massive loss.
I mean,
Massive
it's a
loss.
huge loss for that Georgia defense. I don't think that anybody going into this year especially expected Georgia to put up the kind of defensive numbers that they did last year. But losing, the defense was already getting really depleted just because of all the experience that was leaving to the NFL. So going into this year, I don't think anybody really had this matchup in particular circled on their calendars because I think we all figured that Tennessee would do the thing that it usually does by this time of year. Yeah, it's feeling like 98. I like the pick.
It's feeling like 98 and 22.
Yeah.
But
Actually, will it be counted as 23 since that's the year they win the title?
no, it's still 22.
It's 22.
22.
Do we
Yeah, it's
count
22.
LSU winning the title? And because we always talk about the 2019 LSU Tigers, but technically they won it in 2020.
But we don't see they won the 2019 national championship
Nobody
that
does
also
that,
Yeah, it just happened in 20. They're the 2019 LSU Tigers.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I was going to say.
all right.
As for
But-
I have
wait.
one more thing to add. I was
Oh,
going to say in this household, we respect Greensboro legend Hendon Hooker, two-time state champion at Dudley High.
Hamden.
Hendon for Heisman. That's what we want. At least that's what I want.
No, it's what everyone wants.
I think
Yeah,
I
completely
think
agree.
we all want Hendon Hooker to win. But I guess my key for this game would be Tennessee's run game, and can they get at least a semblance of Small and Wright, and not have to rely on Hendon using his legs. But outside of that, I like your pick as well. I think it will be close, but I think Tennessee might get the last possession and win it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really like the line on that game. I'll also add that I've never.
Oh yeah.
I think
I'm
it's
hammering the
pretty
ball.
I think it's pretty disrespectful to Tennessee.
It is.
But
It's extremely.
yeah. So for my second pick, I am sticking in the SEC East as Andrew Stur did, and I am going to be picking the Missouri Tigers over Kentucky to seal Kentucky's fate as the biggest frauds of the 2022 college football season. And I have a few reasons why. One, I think Will Levis is overrated. That Kentucky offensive line is absolutely atrocious. They're terrible. They can't block anything. Chris Rodriguez hasn't really been the impact player that I think that people thought he was going to be going into the year. So he's been pretty disappointed. It would be pretty sick if Mizzou would let Brady cook this weekend and get it out to Luther Burden. I think that this is setting up to be a pretty big win for Eli Drinkwitz, especially for how lackluster Mizzou started their season. I know that they played that really close game with Georgia, and that kind of got things back on track for them a bit. But I really just like Mizzou at this game at Furrow Field. I don't know. I think it's this one's just like screaming at me. I don't really like the line. I'd probably take Mizzou +2, but yeah, I'm going with Zoo.
I like it. Mizzou's got a good defense. So, and completely agree with you.
Yeah,
Will Levis. Just not good. Not good.
No, not who
He's
we
not
thought
good.
he was going to be.
I don't know why people thought he was good because when he was at Penn State, I never thought he was good either. There's a reason why Will Levis had to leave and Sean Clifford's still the starter. It's not like it makes sense when it happened. I wasn't bothered by it. And everyone, Will Levis should be the first pick in the draft at the beginning of the year. And I'm like, does nobody know who this guy is? He's not. He's so overrated. He really is.
They see a tough, gritty, large quarterback with a big arm that can move. And they're like, oh my gosh, he's the next freaking Josh Allen. Completely different prospects. Just absolutely. It seems like when you're watching Will Levis, every other play, you're like, what the heck is going through his head right now?
Mm-hmm.
It's all the mayo. It's all the mayo and banana peels. I think honestly, we need to have the FDA search if that's a lethal combination.
He's honestly really similar to DJU and just the ways that sometimes I just watch them play and I'm just like, what the heck were they thinking on that play? I mean, both of them
arm's a lot better though.
I will agree with that, but I just think that some of the decision making by both of them, I'm just like, why? I see the flashes why people consider them both to be good prospects, but overall, I just don't see it.
Yeah, I think people bank on
Yeah.
his potential's up there, and people overrate a lot of coaching staffs in the NFL. A lot of coaching staffs cannot develop a rookie quarterback,
No.
right, Leica?
Oh, it is my turn. I'm sorry.
It is.
I didn't think it was my turn. Well, I guess for my final pick, I'll go to the Sun Belt team that's been getting by with or at least the last couple of weeks has gotten by with some close wins, and I just don't see it continuing because I believe this team is going to get the upset, and I'm going to go with Louisiana to defeat Troy in the Sun Belt. Louisiana has been up and down, but I like how Wooldridge has played. 12 touchdowns, 4 picks. It's a game at home, and it's hard to envision Louisiana losing at home. Troy has had a lot of really close games lately. 3 of their last 4 decided by 7 points or less, and Louisiana is a 5.5-point underdog at home. I think the Raging Cajuns are going to get this done over the Troy Trojans.
Yeah, we don't need to talk about that Troy South Alabama game. That was that game. We talk about sickos football. I don't even know if sickos wanted to watch that game. It was that bad. No, they probably were just.
The recap was talking about the kicker making a 50-yard field goal, and that was like the highlight. Like, come on, guys. Come on, man. 10 to 6. They barely beat Texas. They beat Texas at like 17-14. I just don't envision Troy winning another close game on the road. Like if they manage to get another close W, I mean, I think they're getting their luck back from losing App State and all that. But I honestly like Louisiana.
Yeah. What a disappointing season they've had. Everyone thought they'd come after being ranked last year. Everyone thought they'd be front runners for the Sun Belt, and just kind of fell apart. The Fun Belt, though, still very fun.
I think it's wide open. It's still like anybody can get to the championship games in both divisions.
Yeah.
If South Alabama would have beaten Troy in that garbage game, South Alabama would be in a perfect spot because I really like them. But I think it's going to be Coastal, and then if Southern Miss is 3-1. They have a shot to get to the title game too.
I mean, I was looking the Sun Belt East. I mean, that's one of the tightest divisions in all of college football.
Yeah, if Coastal
team was within one game in the loss column except for Marshall, I think.
Yeah, Marshall's 1-3. Yeah, that's crazy. If Coastal does pull off the upset and beat App State on Thursday, well, I guess this comes out on Thursday. So tonight, they'll separate themselves from the rest of the division. But yeah, I mean, Southern Miss, man, I kind of hope they get in. That'd be awesome.
Coastal's remaining schedule, just as a side note, is App, of course. Southern Miss on November 12th. Then they go to UVA. Then they're at James Madison.
They're gonna murder UVA.
Yeah.
Coastal should win that
program.
UVA being the weakest opponent out of those 4 is kind of
yeah.
Oh, don't get me started on them. I rant about them every show I'm on.
God, that is going to be an electric game, JMU versus Coastal.
That's going to be
cool. My goodness. I really want that to be for a conference title berth. That would be something special.
That needs to be on national TV. I don't care.
Well,
ESPN, we need it.
Does JMU get to play in the conference game? Because
that's right.
That's postseason technically.
Oh,
yeah, it is. Yeah.
You're right. I forgot about that.
So
the NCAA sucks.
It's the worst.
Oh, that's terrible.
I think they can play in it because there was a bat. They what?
They can't go further than that, or
I think
I know they can't play in a bowl game for sure. I don't know
if they can't play in a bowl game. I remember NCAA basketball this last year. There was a new team up in I don't watch basketball. I'm not going to act like I do. There was a new team. They won their conference, and they didn't get the auto bid because it was their first year.
Yeah, it was Bellarmine.
Bellarmine. Yes. I'm not going to act like I've ever heard of that school, but it sucks for them.
and they couldn't play in they won the regular season. They won the regular season, but they couldn't play in the ASUN bracket or the
No, Bellarmine won the ASUN title, but they couldn't play it into the tournament. They beat
they won the auto bid, but they didn't get the auto bid because the NCAA is just stupid.
They couldn't. Yeah, the NCAA shows, like, if you're good enough for making the transition, because it's supposed to protect these new programs that come in that aren't supposed to be good. But when they are good enough, immediately they should be rewarded for it. You shouldn't hold them back because they're already better than everybody else.
Yeah, like imagine if the NHL told the Vegas Golden Knights, you know what, for your first year of being a franchise, we're not going to let you play in the playoffs. They went to the Cup. They went to the Cup final in their first year. Imagine how stupid that would be.
So JMU is ineligible for all postseason play.
So that includes conference title.
Yes.
Assuming that includes conference championship.
Let them in if they make it.
But, I mean,
so I don't know if they would change that, but because who's this? Sunbelt commissioner said the conference is assisting the Dukes in their quest for 2023 bowl eligibility. He does not believe a 2022 Sunbelt championship game that excluded first place division winner JMU would be awkward. That would. What are you talking about, dude? The best team in the division isn't going to be in the conference championship game in one of the more fun conferences in the country. That's ridiculous.
I think NCAA sucks.
Oh my god, that's the worst.
It's just such a stupid rule. I mean, JMU could very well end up being the best team in Virginia.
Yeah,
like it's them and Liberty right now.
Yeah. I was saying it's between those two.
Because we know it's not Virginia or Virginia Tech.
But it's all this stuff is making us upset, and this is the upset special, of course.
Yeah. Well, I guess on that note, that seems like a good spot to wrap it up and go through our picks, right?
Yep.
So I'm on Notre Dame to defeat Clemson, real gross, at home, and I have Coastal beating App State at home as well.
I have NC State taking down Wake Forest at home, and I have Tennessee going on the road, winning at the reigning national title winner, Georgia.
For my first pick, I had the Liberty Flames beating Arkansas in Fayetteville. And then for my second pick, I have Mizzou over Kentucky.
And for me, I had the Memphis Tigers over the UCF Golden Knights and the Louisiana Raging Cajuns over the Troy Trojans in the Sun Belt.
I will also add, Mr. No Context himself wants to say his picks on the show, even though he's not here. He has Tulsa over Tulane and James Madison over Louisville.
Ooh, I like those. I did like Tulsa over Tulane. I would like to add a bonus.
With those picks.
We had a bonus play. I think Baylor beats Oklahoma.
Well, I had a bonus play. Oh, crap. Where is it? Freaking gosh darn it. Maryland over Wisconsin.
Yeah, I like that too.
Wisconsin's secondary is not that good. If Talia plays, give me the Terps.
I have a media pass from Maryland, Ohio State, so I'll be there for that. That's our show, everybody. Thank you for listening. Free James Madison. The NCAA is stupid. The Sun Belt Commissioner, I would like to have a word with you. Like, subscribe. Thanks for watching and listening. We'll see you next time.